Hi, Matt here with Hudson Property Services, and today we are here to talk about key management. If you've ever had trouble keeping your keys organized, I can't tell you how many times we take over a property, we start management, and we receive something that looks like this, just a bag full of random keys. Sometimes we'll get something that looks like this. It's got some keys on it, a fob, different labels, things like that, and it's just a mess. So we have tried so many different solutions. We've tried every different sort of fob you can imagine, organization systems, labels, and we came up with a system that's very simple that anybody can do, super cheap. The supplies are available everywhere, and so I'd like to share that with you today, how we manage our keys. So the first thing, I'll go over the supplies. Really is very simple. This is a key tag that we use. These are very cheap. They're available everywhere, big box stores, hardware stores. Second thing is an assortment of rings. These are the very simple key rings. We just have them in a few different sizes, some smaller, some larger sizes. And then the last thing is a fine tip permanent marker. So those are it. That's the only supplies that we use when we're doing our key management and getting things straightened out. So the first step in getting your keys organized, we like to do what we call a key check, and this is visiting the property and trying every key that we have. So you're going to start right at the front of the property, right at the front door, and start there and find the key for that front door. Then you go through the whole property and check every single door, anything that's locked, if there's basements or padlocks. Sometimes we've seen sheds or garages that have locks on them, generator compartments. You want to try every single key and label that key as you're walking through the house. If you find any keys that don't work, just throw them out. I'm not sure why people like to hang on to keys that they're no longer using, but it's best to just get rid of them at this point. And so as you're doing that walkthrough, when you're finished, you're going to find some keys that just didn't work in any lock. So make sure that you discard any of the old keys. So when we're labeling the keys, what we like to do for labeling the keys is you take the marker that you have, this fine tip marker, and you just mark on the key itself what it's for. So these are the two most common types of keys, and each of them has a little spot on the head of the key where you can write on it. So when we go to a property, if we're going to the front door, I'm gonna take the Sharpie, and as soon as I find that key for that front door, I'm gonna write something on here that indicates it's the front door. So for this one, you can usually fit 2, 3, 4 characters on a key. So for front door, we usually do FD. It's pretty self-explanatory. And you're just gonna need some sort of system that kind of makes sense as you're looking at the key. So typically for us, FD is front door. If we have multiple apartments, say we have a 4-family building, we're gonna do F door, if that's a FD for front door, if that's a common door. And then when we get to apartment 1, we're gonna do 1 FD. So apartment 1, front door. You just kind of want to use some sort of system that makes sense so that when you look at the keys, you know exactly what it means. Typically we use B for basement, A for attic, maybe you have apartment 1, apartment A, whatever it happens to be, just make sure it makes sense as you're labeling the key. So you're going to want to put something on every single key that makes sense so that you know exactly what door that key works. So the next thing you want to do is to organize your keys. So as I mentioned, we use these key rings, and you're going to want to put all of the keys on the key ring with the tag here, and you're going to want to put them in order, whatever order makes sense. So if we're looking at a single family home, sometimes there's typically a front door, a back door, maybe a basement, maybe an attic, whatever it happens to be. We typically do it in the order that you would walk through the home. So if it's maybe got a front, a side, and a rear door, if you walk through the front of the home and then you get to the side door and then you get to the back door, we're gonna do front, side, and back. Place them in that order on the key ring, and then make sure that all of the teeth are facing the same direction. So this is important. It helps the keys be a little bit more organized, a little bit cleaner. It also helps you see if the label happens to rub off. Well, you can see that the two keys next to each other match each other. So you know that if this one's labeled and it says front door, and the one behind it is the same key, then you know that's a front door as well. So you want to put them in order, put all the teeth face up, and hang them on this, and they'll hang nice and flat. And so this makes it nice and easy they fit in your pocket better, they fit in a key box better, they just kind of lay better if you're hanging them on a hook or in a key box. So this is an example of just 2 keys with the label here, nice and clean, nice and easy to carry. This is an example of a little bit bigger one. We've got a few keys on this, but again, when you hang it here, they hang nice and flat, they fit in your pocket perfectly, nice and clean. All the teeth are face up, and again, they're in order as you would walk through the home. So if it's a multifamily, if it's that 4 unit I had talked about, you're probably going to want to do front door, unit 1, all the keys in unit 1, then you go on to unit 2, all the keys in unit 2. If you have extras, if you have 2 or 3 front door keys, you just put them side by side so they're all in the same spot, so they're easy to find and use when you get to the property. This is an example of a bigger home. This is a 2-family that we have, but it has multiple doors and attics and common spaces. So this one, you can see this ring is a little bit too small for this. We need a little bit bigger ring so that the keys kind of lay a little bit more flat, but it's pretty close to what it needs to be. Again, nice and organized. All the teeth are face up. All the keys are labeled, so we know. We start right here where the tag is, and then the front door is here, then it goes to unit 1, unit 2, and so on. So this is a good example. It lays nice and flat, fits in your pocket well, so it's nice to keep them organized. Another thing about laying the keys with all the teeth up is if you happen to get a new key, or maybe you find a key at the property, it's not working, you're not sure what key it is, if you want to keep it separate, you can just turn it backwards, and then you'll know that that's the key that you found at the property and you need to try it next time that you're there. Sometimes this is helpful if a resident moves out, they give you a key, you're not sure what door it is, just put it on there backwards so it indicates that you need to test it next time you're at the property. So again, it's a very simple system, very cost effective, but it's worked really well whether we've got a small single family home or a multifamily home. You can get a lot of keys on, keep them organized. So I hope that this was helpful. If you could use any assistance with anything with your rental property, please feel free to reach out to us. You can visit us online, hpshomes.com, and fill out the contact form, and we'd be happy to assist you. Hope this was helpful. Have a great day.